Louisiana's legislators have set one agenda item in their efforts to ease soaring premiums for homeowners, appropriating $45 million to attract more insurers to write property insurance. I'm Lori Chortis for AMBASS TV, and joining us now to discuss the Louisiana market issues are Sridhar Manyem, Senior Director, Industry Research and Analytics, and Christopher Graham, Senior Industry Analyst, both of AMBASS. Sridhar and Chris, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you.
On the $45 million to incentivize insurers to write more business in the state, do you think this will achieve the intended effect?
Yeah, short term, I think, Lori, it could have a temporary effect of attracting some insurance capacity. The details of the program that have been listed in the legislature are that the award is $45 million, but each insurance company will be awarded grants between $2 million and $10 million, given that they are permitted to and licensed to write insurance in Louisiana. And a company that receives a $5 million grant would have to contribute $5 million, and it would have to write at least $20 million in new premium. Out of that $20 million, at least 50% needs to be in high-risk parishes. So, and then there are other conditions like the company must stay on the insurance coverage for a 5-year period, and the grant will be earned 20% each year over that particular 5-year period. So there are details like that. So if you look at that, technically the $45 million appropriation could result in somewhere around $180 million to $200 million of premium, which if you compare the total Louisiana premium homeowners of $2 billion is probably just a little shy of 10%, 8.4% or so. So how would that translate into insurance availability, affordability? So that would actually depend on how much reinsurance is being priced, availability, etc. And the 8.4% will have some effect in attracting more capacity, but will it move the needle in order to influence consumers? Availability of insurance, affordability of insurance, that's another question, depending on how that money is being leveraged to either buy insurance, help policyholders, so on and so forth.
Are these issues in Louisiana long-standing, or is the situation relatively more recent? How did the market get to this state?
This is really relatively recent, just within the past couple years. You go back 2011 through 2019, property insurance was very profitable in Louisiana. This is driven by the hurricanes of 2020 and 2021, Hurricane Laura in 2020, Hurricane Ida in 2021, that wiped out all the profits from the prior 9 years. Part of this being also, inadequate reinsurance, which has led to some insolvencies within the state. And that's really putting the pressure on prices now. One, to have, for the primary insurers who are there, to have adequate capital to cover what they are writing, and also putting an overall capacity crunch in the state through the insolvencies.
Yeah, so actually a double whammy, like Chris said, both of Hurricane Ida happening, and at the same time, reinsurance rates started increasing as well, because reinsurers were starting to become a little bit more risk averse as you had catastrophes, wildfires pummeling the United States, and new reinsurers started becoming reticent about deploying their capital, and other risks started becoming attractive. So what Chris is saying is absolutely spot on. Like the combination of hurricanes and the reinsurance conditions has led to this, has led the issues to to the surface.
How does the situation in Louisiana, along with their insurer of last resort, differ from what you're seeing in Florida?
Well, I guess the biggest thing that we're seeing different as far as the insurer of last resort is In Louisiana, it seems to be more commercial entities that are needing the state's backstop, whereas in Florida it was predominantly personal insurance, homeowners insurance. And also, another difference is what's driving it. Florida, it was more of a legal issue within the state. Insurers in general didn't want to write there. You look at the top 50, the top 5 insurers nationwide, they account for about 50% of homeowners insurance. They only accounted for about 15% in Florida. In Louisiana, that 50% nationally is pretty similar to what they have in the state. So they're taking on similar risks to what they would nationwide, and they're having poor results that just come as with the nature of insurance. Catastrophes are basically why insurers are there, to cover catastrophic events. So what you're seeing in Louisiana is the normal cycle of insurance.
Chris is spot on. Florida is a little bit more litigation issue and a climate issue. Louisiana is more a climate issue and a reinsurance issue. So,
well, Sridhar, Chris, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Laurie.
That was Sridhar Manyem, Senior Director, Industry Research and Analytics, and Christopher Graham, Senior Industry Analyst, both of AM Best. For AM Best TV, I'm Laurie Chortis.